push me. Troublesome since 96. You wish you could breathe easy on the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a, here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my, strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf, God can't tell me nothing.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Voyagers and the Brooklyn Beats. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Voyagers and the Brooklyn Beats. Hi. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
I love how he exploded on the national scene his redshirt freshman year when, at the beginning of the season, he was not named the starting quarterback. But when USC was struggling, he got an opportunity. And by the end of the year, the Rose Bowl MVP, an epic shootout with Penn State, and put him on the NFL radar in a big way.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And a look now at the starting unit for the offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Joe Mixon. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball.
It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff, and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and the lead grows to 10-0. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A handoff to Mixon. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll only be a gain of 1 yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the 1st.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now let's go. Boo,
now a handoff looking right. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change that momentum?
Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He'll get it in the hands of Clark, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a play fake here on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw, Darnold. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Darnold from the red zone now. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there, taking it in from 2 yards out, and his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Lambo to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And that one results in 35 yards. Back to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And 12 yards that time and picking up the 1st.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll drop the throw. Flushed out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. They'll set up a throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Parkey with the extra point. And that will get them one closer. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out. And a 5-yard penalty. That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Oh, and now some space to operate. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
On first down, Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is a modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off of play action, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now out comes Houston. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And this ball is going to be touchdown just shy of midfield. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble on the road. And making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See who can drive the bus here again on this drive.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
Here we go now.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend as we are set to just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Darnold now to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Way toward wrapping this one up.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And now out comes Houston. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 52 yards. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Now Parkey for the extra point. And oh, it's blocked. And oh, the defense has it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, as really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away. And we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spent a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Darnold. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will have a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle. But that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play. And the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Darnold. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And they'll run it here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Here we go now.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Parkey's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium, because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Back to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on. and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it, because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for our visitors, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew.